guys?
Hey,
How's it going? As you can see,
I'm over here this week.
Yes.
I think I'm officially the first person to sit in every spot because I sat over there when you were gone, and I'm here when Jay is gone.
Who? RJ, getting around.
King of the podcast.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Jay is in Hawaii.
That's right.
So
he was supposed to do a My Two Cents last week before he left for Hawaii, and he did not.
Jay's really bad at remembering.
So you can blame him for not having any content last week.
It's all his fault.
I mean, I guess we could kind of. Well,
I encourage you guys to go to Hawaii and ruin his trip.
But you got to be
ruined.
Well, but by the time they hear this, he'll be back.
No.
You told me he came back on New Year's.
Yeah, he comes back tomorrow, but I'm gonna find a way to keep him up there so you guys can go and ruin the rest of his trip.
Well, sorry, Jay. Actually, he may not even watch this, so he may never know what we say about him.
I'm not sorry, because he's in Hawaii.
Jay's a doo-doo head.
I agree with that 100%.
So that was a little harsh language.
Yeah, he's just an asshole.
This will be released January 2nd. Maybe I'll put it on the 1st just because. I don't know. Either way, this is officially our first one of 2018 in terms of release.
Ooh. But filmed.
Filmed in 2007. So let's talk about the future. What's 2018?
Oh, guys, so much happened. So much happened in 2018 already. I don't know. I imagine something big's gonna happen.
Like that day that the Dodgers won the World Series.
Yeah.
It's crazy that they won it somehow in January, but they did.
Yeah, and the Broncos won the Super Bowl. We can all.
Okay, now that one's a bit of a stretch. Even though I'd be very happy with that too.
Yeah, we all have hopes and dreams.
Well, that being said, we probably will not talk about this until the next episode. But tomorrow is the final week of fantasy football, and it's actually currently the two of us in the finals. I currently have about a 50-point lead.
Yeah. Dude, my team just decided, well, Antonio Brown went out, and then everyone else on my team just decided to have, their worst game of the year.
That was me in another league, so.
Yeah, so, I mean, I still have a chance this week, but I need... You don't have Gurley, which kind of helps me. That's at,
Since he's combined for over 90 points in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, so that may help me. I wish I would have gotten a bit more of a lead. I made the mistake of putting Keenum instead of Garoppolo in, which...
Garoppolo's working magic, but let's not talk too much about that. We'll talk pretty much all football next time.
Yeah.
I do want to bring up, before we figure out what else we're going to talk about on this episode, Dylan got me.
So we talked about going into the future. Now we're going to talk about pretty much going back into the past.
Going back to 2016. Dylan's got me hooked on Pokemon Go again.
Which is funny because I didn't actually play it that much when it first came out, and I went from a level new account level 0 because I had an account but I forgot my information. I just started a new one, and pretty much in a week I'm a level almost 20. So it's been a week and a half. I'm almost a level 20. And
then for me, I haven't played since it was only Generation 1 stuff. I got to the point where I wasn't strong enough to really do gyms, but weak enough to where it would have taken way too much time to actually continue to get up to that point. So I didn't care. And now, the game is basically a brand new game with half the stuff.
I like a lot of I mean, I only played a little bit with the old stuff, but what do you think about so far with the new stuff, the differences?
I actually enjoy gyms now, because it used to be if you didn't have multiple
big characters,
1,500 plus characters, you couldn't beat a gym. But now, not only can I actually chip away at the gym by myself, but when the two of us fight, we're fighting together. So since we happen to be on the same team, of course, Team Valor.
That was really fortunate for us when we started playing.
Instead of going against each other.
Yeah, or else it would have been a little bit more complicated.
Last night, the two of us, we were doing a sort of church-ish event, not really for our church though, but we were helping out. And so since we were driving separately, I would be navigating basically by looking at Pokemon Go and be like, hey, there's a gym, like right up there. It's weak. Let's stop. Let's take it over and then continue on and meet up with everybody
literally
else.
just pull into random parking lots, like beat gyms or get Pokestops and just leave. We probably look like complete creeps, but that's okay.
This is the risk of Pokemon Go.
Yes, and
I mean, we were up at Outpost and
a skating rink,
just sitting there waiting as like the kids were all playing broom ball because there wasn't enough sticks for everyone to play, and I was just like, hey, like County Line, the restaurant, right across the parking lot has a gym and it's got one guy in it. Let's go take it over.
So we literally just went for a little hike, took it over, then walked back.
And it's. I am still surprised at how many people do play this game.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked
because we took that over maybe 11:30, and by the time I got home and was on my phone at like right before 1 a.m., someone else had already taken over the gym. It's like, really?
Well, and it's kind of like County Line's a weird place. Like, who's at County Line?
Yeah, it's like way out in the middle of nowhere practically.
Yeah.
It's no one's working there at that point, so.
I guess it wouldn't make sense, yeah. So, who knows? Unless it was an outpost worker who was cleaning or something, finished and then walked over.
It's like, those guys took over my gym.
So, it is kind of funny.
And again, just even kind of like, it was a little annoying, but also funny at the same time when we went back to the church where everyone's starting to get picked up.
And granted, this is at 12:30 at night.
The church that we were like, all the kids were getting dropped off at that we went to was a gym, and we had taken it over earlier while all the kids were
6
meeting.
o'clock, yeah.
But it had gotten taken over again while we were gone. And when we came back, there was 2 weak guys in there originally.
Yeah.
And as I started my attack, I only had to fight 2 people, but between the time I started my attack and you started your attack, some random person, we think it must have been a parent, added like a 2,000 Blastoise in there, and then they kept healing it back up every time we did anything. So it got to the point where I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, I guess they're just wasting their like golden raspberries or whatever, but come on, like.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of annoying, but
it was still kind of cool to see that, like,
other people
that level of interaction where it's like, I don't know who it is, but someone out there is doing this to us.
Yeah, which it really makes me laugh. Like, we say parent, but what if it was one of like the 13-year-old kids? So
it could have been that. It could have been a worker at the church, I suppose. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that we don't really consider is it could have been someone who just happened to pass by. Placed someone, and then like the only reason I don't think this is necessarily because it seemed so quick turnaround. Because they would have been doing it while they were driving if this is the case. Yeah. But you can heal them from anywhere. So they could have been doing it, but just because they had been placed while we were starting and then was constantly healing, there were clearly someone right around us.
Yeah.
But we didn't know who it was.
You had to get pretty close because I had to be right in front of the building, so it would have.
Well, to attack it, you can heal it from anywhere.
No, I'm saying to drop it in. Oh, yeah. Like I feel like we would have seen someone like just fly by because you had to get
security. There was a security driver who like went by like really slowly.
And I was like,
and I think they were really just looking to see who we are, but it would be funny if they were the one who did it. They're like, you're taking over my gym, kids.
No, and like I told you, like that's how I feel. Like there's a park, North Domingo Park, right over here, and like it's a gym right at the sign, and like you can like park right in front of the sign. So like every night after work, I like just stop by there, but there's always a car there, like different cars, and. It's just like there's a whole open parking lot, people are parking there. So it just makes you wonder if those are Pokemon Go players. And like I literally drive in and like defeat the gym, put a person in, and leave. So it's like I wonder if those people are like just sitting there, see me pull in, like defeat the stuff and then leave. And if they are the Pokemon Go players, they're just like, oh, this douchebag.
And since it is, so long since the game has come out, I don't know that most of the time there are those interactions where it's like I'm watching my gym get taken over. But I know, especially when I was playing that January or June, July or June, whenever it was that it came out originally. I mean, that's how it was. You would walk, you'd go to like a park where you could walk like a circuit of Pokestops and gyms, and you could watch as you're walking the gym turn to yellow. Yeah. Turn to blue, and you're just like, you can see the 5 guys under there going like, come on, and like fighting each other, basically.
And that's like, because I was working, what sparked me playing, we had a stand in the mall for my company, last week. Yeah, last week. And so we're sitting there, and we were right where we were positioned. There were 2 Pokestops that we could get from where we were sitting, and then there was like 2 gyms that were right there. And so like all my coworkers were playing, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we just started playing again because like we figured, what else do you do sitting here at the mall?" So I started playing, and like people kept putting lures and stuff. So I just like that's how I ranked up so fast. Is I just had so much, and then like we would all just go walk the mall and then get all the Pokestops and everything. And so it was, since I was aware of it now, I was looking and you could see people with it open at the mall, like tons of people.
I feel like there's those specific concentrated areas where people who are still playing play, because the mall, I have not played there myself, but I'm not surprised that there's a bunch of Pokestops there.
Cottonwood Mall has like, I think it's 3 or 4 gyms inside with about 5 Pokestops or 6 Pokestops. So like you can get some good stuff there. So
well, and I think I was complaining to Dylan yesterday because, you know, like every church is either a gym or a Pokestop, and in the case of our church, it's a Pokestop. But the Pokestop is by our sign, which is like at the entrance of the parking lot and not directly in front of like the church. So it's whenever I have to go in and like be there for band rehearsal or something, because I run the slides a lot of times, I can't reach the Pokestop from inside, so it's super frustrating because it's like,
"Hey guys, stop! I gotta go do something real quick. I'll be right back."
Run out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that is I think the best, like, that makes it fun. Like, it's really fun at the mall being right there on a stop. Like, my work, I was hoping was one, but you have to, like, walk a little bit of a way. So, like, sometimes I'll take, like, a 5-minute break or something to walk over and, like, do the Pokestop and come back. But there isn't anything where, like, I'm sitting at work. And, like, I've been house sitting for Jay since he's gone, and there's nothing, like, directly here. There's stuff all around him.
But I mean, nothing that's how it is with residential stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
The only way you're going to get, like, a Pokestop at the place you live is if you're in an apartment that happens to have some kind of sculpture or something, basically.
Yeah, which we passed one of those yesterday. Did. But no, and that was the best, like I said, being at the mall and just being able to hit, like, now it is, like, I mean, it's how the game's designed to get you out and doing stuff, but I don't know, I've enjoyed it. The new Pokemon are kind of weird just because I don't know any of them. You know, growing up,
now they're into Generation 3 stuff.
Yeah, and it's like growing up, like, I know the basic Pokemon, so I think the biggest thing, like, we found is RJ, since he played right when it happened, like, he got all the old Pokemon, like, the original Pokemon, and now they're not as vibrant.
Common.
Yeah, they're not as common, and so I get more excited when I get the old Pokemon. You're like, "Oh, those used to be everywhere. I have tons of those," and I'm like, "No, I
used to ignore them because there were so many of them. Forget Geodude."
Exactly, and here I am, like, trying to collect them all, and the new ones, like, I have so much of them, because, like, that's kind of, like, all I was getting, and so, like, you're all excited about these new ones. I'm like, "Oh, that's old shit." Like, I want the old shit, like, the ones I hardly see, so it is kind of cool that they do kind of
Well, again,
do
there's just so many differences since I last played of the whole raid system. You didn't used to be able to, like, the gyms are completely different. You didn't used to be able to collect stuff from the gyms or get the gym badges or
which is cool, and you don't
stuff.
get as much from a gym.
It's because they want
you level up,
up
and so, like, you don't get as much as you do from the Pokestop. So it is kind of cool that you can do that. You know, and I think it's cool that they have that interaction because it makes it more worthwhile going to the gym, in my opinion. Because even if you don't own the gym and you can't, like, take over the gym, it gives you a reason to still go there, because then you can just spin the thing, get your stuff, and leave.
Well, like I said, originally as a more just like a casual player, the gyms were no fun because you couldn't do anything with them.
Yeah, and then so there wasn't raids before. Oh, see, that's so cool because that's how I've gotten some of my big Pokemon is from raids. Is I just went and
I think the raids didn't come out until like a couple months ago. Honestly.
Really? Oh, that's cool.
It might have been like 6 months ago.
You have to have the raid pass.
Yeah, but you get one for free.
Yeah, just for trying it. But it does kind of suck because, like, I did one where I beat the raid and I got a raid pass, and then I beat the next raid that I did. That was the one where I got 2, like, within, like, a half hour. But then there was another raid, and I could have beaten it, but I was out of raid passes, and I was like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. I feel like
you can buy one.
Yeah. And I feel like, though, they should do, if you beat a raid, you get a raid pass.
You get something else, yeah.
like, so you kind of get that raid pass back because you beat it. That way you can, but I don't know. I guess it's to stop you from just going and hitting
and getting all the good Pokemon
in one. Yeah,
instantly. I don't know.
So, who knows? But it is fun. Like I said, I've gotten some of my best Pokemon doing that.
And I'll admit we're gonna go out to the park and play some Pokemon Go right after this.
Really, guys, I'm just trying to get RJ in shape and working out, and this was the only way I could figure doing it.
That's the best part. I'm not out of shape.
Not out of shape, but I didn't want to tell you this, but I signed you up for a marathon. So I'm training you through Pokemon Go.
To walk a marathon?
Yeah.
I'll open so many eggs.
yeah, you know. But no, it's fun. Like I said, it is kind of nice because this area has a bunch of stuff too. I feel like if I was in an area that didn't, it would have fairly fast.
So we have a buddy, Joey, who I think we've talked about in the past. He was the guy who was afraid of manatees. But he worked full-time at Lone Tree, the camp that we worked at. But it's in the middle of nowhere. And so, like, arguably, if this was, like, the real world of Pokemon, that's where, like, a bunch of wild Pokemon would be.
There's just no internet service out there.
But you can play it out there. But the thing is, like, unless you're in the town, the little village that's 20 minutes away from where he actually works and lives, you can't get, like, I think he told us there was, like, 3 Pokestops and, like, maybe 2 gyms there, and that's it in that little village. But so where he actually is, he has to rely on random Pokemon just happening to appear where he would be, and he couldn't get more Pokeballs because he was nowhere near any Pokestops.
You would think that place would have been a Pokestop, though, Lone Tree. I wonder, is there a way, and I don't know, that you can make your business like a Pokestop?
I want to say when the game first came out that you could... I know you could for sure report and, like, request Pokestop removal. But I think that was more based off of...
creepy shit happening.
Like, danger as opposed to just, I don't want my place to be a Pokestop.
Yeah.
And I think that you could suggest stuff, and so it would be funny if he was able to suggest and get it to be like a gym or a Pokestop.
Yeah, because that'd be cool.
But I guess part of the reason you wouldn't want that is because you don't want random people just coming to Lone Tree in the middle of, like, a camp.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
With a bunch of kids around.
I mean, then again, not far out there. The only people that are going to be out there are the townspeople, and the townspeople know.
I guess the other thing, too, would be, though, it would then encourage kids who might be playing that to want to have their phones out and be doing that instead of hanging out and doing activities and stuff.
That's where you just don't tell kids.
We do not have a Pokestop here.
This is not the Pokestop you are looking for. But, yeah, so, I mean, it is... And like I said, like, I caught a water Pokemon in Smith's the other day, which I don't know quite how, that happened. But it was like... Because that's what someone told me. They're like, oh, water Pokemon are so hard. And I was like...
They're hard for us because we live in the freaking desert.
Yeah, but it was like... And then I told him, I was like, oh...
I've got all the fire Pokemon, basically.
Fire and grass. And rock. Yeah, we get everything, but... I've gotten quite a few water Pokemon.
Yeah, but...
And I think that was more because I had those lures, like, 5 days in a row.
Yeah, and if you get... Like, they count Arroyos. Like, I got a Magikarp and an Arroyo one time.
That is fitting, though.
And now that they have, like, the weather thing, if it's ever, like, rainy and stuff, that should make water Pokemon appear more often and stuff, too.
If only we had rain.
Yeah.
Or snow.
Not in this time of year.
Yeah, well, we're not even snow, nothing, man. So, but what was it last night? It was clear. All fire.
Well, it's the same thing as right now because it's just, like, clear.
So
I mean, during the night you have more likely to get the dark Pokemon, but because it was clear, it was like I think it was grass, fire, and ground were more likely to appear and were stronger, and that's the same thing as today because it's still clear.
Like I was telling you, like I went to the aquarium with my stepdaughter and my fiance, and I was like, oh, there's gonna be so many water Pokemon here. Like there's an aquarium, why not? And then like I found like a Zubat. And I found a Sandshrew, and it was like I did find the Ditto that I think was disguised as a water Pokemon. But it was like I didn't really. I saw those little stupid crabs, but there wasn't that big. So, and I thought like there would be more water Pokemon at the aquarium, but it wasn't. So, and if you did we have a botanical garden connected to our aquarium. There's so much in botanical garden.
I'm not surprised.
But I imagine a lot of that's probably bug Pokemon, which I kind of really wanted to like ask, like, let's just go because I really want a Butterfree. Like, and I know it's there because we have a Bugarium, and
he is annoying his fiance with his Pokemon Go usage.
She almost broke my phone and deleted the app. It's just like because I get bored and I just do it, and she's like, "It's so I don't get it. It's so stupid," and you know, I can't blame her because it's kind of true. But it's like I'm not doing anything anyway. Like I'm just gonna be sitting on the couch, so or like I'll be pacing around the house to get my kilometers in for eggs, and she's like, "Why are you walking in circles?" I'm like, "Would you prefer me sit on the couch?" And she's like, "I'd prefer you not to do either." So, I mean. It was a little bit addictive, but I'm getting better at kind of managing it, I guess you could say.
I think we should kind of end. Like, we're not planning on having a long episode, obviously, since it's just the two of us. But I think what we can do is let's kind of go through and do our personal bests of 2017 kind of things. Like we could talk about what we think the best movie was, best song, best TV show that came out, whatever we want to talk about, video game, like that kind of stuff. And that'll kind of wrap it up.
So I'll say, I think best movie for me, man, I'm gonna have to say Thor Ragnarok. And I know that's like, I mean, Star Wars came out and Star Wars was great, but I just loved, and I was anticipating Thor Ragnarok so good, and it lived up to the hype so much, and I had just like, I feel like I didn't really have problems with it, and it was so good, and it was very memorable for me, and there's so many, I mean, because Logan came out, and there's just, I mean, there are other good movies, but for me, Thor Ragnarok.
Dang, I forgot that Logan was 2017.
Yeah, and I loved Logan, but I think Thor for me just really stuck out, and it was just really good, and I loved it. So I think like movie wise, that's probably the best one that I liked.
I did enjoy Thor Ragnarok, but remembering now that Logan is 2017, I think I might have to go with Logan as my favorite of 2017. That being said, I do want to give an honorable mention to, I think, I would say Baby Driver.
Oh,
because I really enjoyed that movie. I wish that the ending was a little bit different. Like I actually am fine with him getting caught. It's the way that I feel like they just kind of drag out, and to me they didn't give enough reasoning behind why Kevin Spacey then decides to help him. Like I think you're supposed to kind of assume that it's because he sees a little of himself in Baby and stuff like that. But it just felt a little bit like once. I don't know. It was a very well done movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I feel like it's just not quite good enough to take the number one.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's definitely top 3 for me. I totally get that. And then I would say best TV show. Man, this is hard because I got into a lot of TV shows. I started watching Longmire, which I love.
Does that actually count as 2017?
I don't know. But, so I'm going to say Punisher. Because I really enjoyed Punisher. And I was so geeked up about Punisher. And it really lived up to it. I mean, it's just... Game of Thrones is, like, obviously I liked. But this was, like, something new, you know? I did get into a lot of new TV shows and stuff. But I think Punisher was my overall favorite. And I feel like there are some that may be better, but I haven't finished them. So I can't throw them in there.
Yeah. But, well, TV show is going to be a hard one for me just because a lot of the TV shows that I've watched this year are just rewatching old ones. Like I'm in the middle of, I'm finishing up rewatching Parks and Rec. Obviously, it's an old show though, so I can't count this. I guess I have to go with Game of Thrones. I always love Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That being said, I did not think that this was one of the better seasons. Like there was some cool twists and stuff, but it felt it was kind of like last season was so good that I felt this one didn't quite live up to it. So it's like, I guess I'll go with Game of Thrones, but I also don't have a lot of other stuff to throw in the ring because I have not seen Punisher yet. I did see Defenders, but I didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
I'm trying. There's got to be some other new. Oh, Stranger Things. But again, Stranger Things season 2 wasn't as good as 1.
It was good though. It was good, and I did like it, but I would say that's top 3 for me for sure. But I still think Punisher overall. I don't know, something about how they did it. I just loved it. I thought I think Punisher did a lot of good things right. I think they cast really, really well. I think every actor that they cast, like, just phenomenal job. I think the story overall was really good, and it was kind of cool seeing, like, all the action in them. And it even had some tearjerker moments. Like, it was very emotional, like, for that kind of movie, which you know going into it, like, with Punisher's background and story, but I think they do a really good job of really getting in there and stuff. So I really enjoyed it, and I think it had an ending I didn't kind of see coming. Like, the ending happens kind of how you think, but it all goes down a little bit different. And I think they do a good job of not just doing what you expect.
I accidentally spoiled who the bad guy is for Ben. Because, again, I haven't seen it, but I saw part of the finale because you were watching it. But I didn't know that they don't reveal that person's a bad guy right away.
See, and I don't, because I pinned that right from the beginning. So I don't really feel that.
I don't know how many he was in, though.
Oh, I mean, as soon as I saw him, I was like, "Oh, this is what's gonna happen," just because it made sense. But
Westworld was last year,
yeah,
right?
I think so. Maybe not.
I think it was. There was Rick and Morty season 3.
I have not finished. I really need to. I need to. It's like on my list, but it's like I got so addicted to other stuff, and then it's because I get home and I just turn Netflix or Hulu on, and I have to stream. I have to like get on and look for those, and I haven't had my laptop with me, so it's just I do need to watch those because I love Rick and Morty.
All right, how about favorite video game of 2017?
You're probably gonna disagree, but I really liked the new Call of Duty. I really did.
You'd put that above anything else?
I can't think of any others. Let me see. What were the other ones?
Well, so ones I'm thinking of, and this is not one that I would choose as best, but there's Destiny 2, Mass Effect Andromeda. I know you didn't play that yet.
I haven't played it yet. It's like Destiny 2, I really liked and enjoyed. My thing is I feel like Destiny did the same thing the last Destiny did.
Well, and we clearly... We kind of played it through and then haven't... 2 weeks, a month after the game came out, we stopped playing. Haven't played since. So.
Yeah. So it's
meanwhile,
like
still playing Overwatch.
Well, I think Overwatch just has a system. Like Destiny's one of those games. It relies on its content to be good, like the DLC content. And from what I've heard, it's not. Yeah. And that's kind of what they've done. So they come out with like a couple crappy ones, and they'll come out with a good one.
And I'll admit, like too, for me, I haven't got. A lot of the games I've been playing this year didn't come out this year. Like, I played through Witcher 2 recently, and I've started Witcher 3, and I played Lego Star Wars again. I've been playing Overwatch, and none of these came out this year. So
there hasn't
I feel
been
like
that many.
In terms of 2017, even though I have yet to open the box, I'm actually going to preemptively give it to Assassin's Creed Origins just because I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't feel that the 2 games, Destiny and Mass Effect, that I bought this year deserve the best of just based off my playing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
which is disappointing because I really like Mass Effect and want to give that it, but it's just not the best.
Well, and it's like one of those, like, I love, like, the new Battlefront. It's like, I love Battlefront, but it's like...
I haven't got that.
And I didn't buy it because all the crap that was going on. I'm like, I don't want to waste money on that. And it's like... EA needs to pull their head out of their ass and just, like, stop trying to be dumb and just come out with a good game and stop relying on all this other crap.
Half the games, like I said, I bought Witcher 2. I bought Knights of the Old Republic and was playing through that. That game is from the original Xbox.
Yeah. Like you said, and that's why, like, the new Call of Duty, I liked it because it kind of feels like they got back to the roots. Me being a history guy, I love World War II. I thought they did a really good job. I thought the ending was kind of rushed a little bit. Feel like it could have ended a little stronger. But it was a fun game, and I actually like the online play. I think they did some different stuff. I like the war, but it can be very frustrating.
Overly frustrating.
Yeah, overly frustrating.
Again, I haven't played much because I've only borrowed it from you guys. But I don't think my team has ever won war by being the attackers and pushing it all the way down. I don't think we've ever got to the end. I think I've only ever won defensively where we just hold them better than they hold us. So
you want to know what helps? Like for me, like I'm a really good sniper on that game, and so it helps.
I started using the cheap incendiary shotgun combination.
So it does help. You need like 2 or 3 good snipers. I mean, I've done it by myself, but it's a lot harder. But pretty much like, so on the Normandy shore one,
you gotta pick off the guys.
You have to have good snipers picking the guys off so you can get up there. And so it's like, I have done it successfully when we have that. But
sorry, I lied. I have successfully completed Normandy. Yeah. I've never completed the one with the bridge as an attacker.
The bridge is the hardest one. What you need is people to constantly throwing smoke.
And none of us had smoke.
Yeah, and then so you have to have that person with smoke, and then you have to have 2 good snipers, and then you got to have real aggressive machine gun people, just keeping them. And I will say, I've only completely built the bridge once on my team. I've defended. It seems like every time I'm in defense, they build the bridge up.
Yeah.
Like, because I have stopped them from sniping, but it was like they kept throwing smoke, and I was like, well, the guy normally sits there, so I'm just going to snipe randomly, and I got it a couple times, so I was kind of that annoying, stupid guy. But I will say, so there is harder stuff about it, but overall, I like it. I kind of like the old school guns. Like I said, being a history person, and I mean, I liked the online gameplay of World at War, and that one was probably my favorite Call of Duty, and so this was kind of, I don't know, I really liked it. Like I said, I think it was kind of basic. There were things that could be better about it, but overall, as of new games that I've played, that one probably takes. I mean, I was kind of like you, still playing like Overwatch, older games. I mean, I got the new FIFA and the new Madden, but it's like those aren't going to take like
they're the same game.
Yeah, so it's just I don't think I've played too many new stuff. I don't feel like there were that many big new games that really came out that caught my attention. Like the Andromeda, I still want to play Andromeda. I
feel like Andromeda was a big one that came out. Destiny was a big one that came out. Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Assassin's Creed were like the big in terms of like titles.
Yeah.
But that doesn't, like, clearly we didn't care enough to get them.
Well, and I feel like this year, too, like, we played the Borderlands 2.
Those are good games.
And those are always fun, because, like, me and my brother just play them when they come on to the backwards compatible free thing for gold. So, like, that was, like, a fun game, but again, I feel like we've played more older games.
Yeah.
So, but no, I do suggest, World at War playing. It's worth it.
World War II?
My bad, World War II. I'm going to get them confused. But yeah, so those are the best games for me.
All right. Best song of 2017. This one's easy for me. Maroon 5, Lips on You. Great song. Love it. Actually, I love a lot of that album. But
favorite song.
Like the first 5 songs on that album are great.
Oh, that's so rough. I've gotten a Chris Stapleton kick. I'm going to have to say, and I don't even know if this was this year. I think it was. Probably Scarecrow by Chris Stapleton, or probably Maroon 5, are good. I mean, Halsey, I actually like Him and I by Halsey too, or Halsey and Jeezy. So songs are so hard because I listen to so much music constantly. I just
And for me too, it's always hard because most of the time I'll really like a song. I'll listen to it a bunch. Like that's how it was when Taylor Swift first released the "Ready for It" single. I really liked that song. I listened to it a bunch, and then now it's kind of like eh.
Yeah, and that's how.
But I feel like for me, Maroon 5 takes a long time to get to that point, and so I can keep listening to it. And even now, it's like there are songs like "Sugar." it's like whatever. What Lovers Do is kind of like whatever. But there's those non-single ones. A lot of times,
Yeah,
are, like
that
their
you
best
still
ones.
really like.
Another one that a good one. I think it came out this year. Probably is the new Imagine Dragons album.
Yes,
I like Whatever It Takes.
Yeah, Whatever It Takes. I actually
and Don't Know Why. Those are both
I actually really like Skillet's new album too, and they came out with the deluxe version, which has 5 new songs, and it's the old lead singer of Flyleaf that's on one of the songs. I really like that. For me, it's just like I don't think I have like favorite songs in genres, but not like an overall. But yeah, I mean, there's so many good things. I think that's my and fiance's goal kind of for this next year. So we want to do more concerts. So I really enjoy them, and we don't go out to concerts that much. So we want to try and do more like live music stuff. But anything else?
I can't think of any other categories. I'm sure we forgot some really simple thing, but
I don't know. I can't think of anything. Favorite book?
I don't know the books that came out this year. Since the 6th Game of Thrones book didn't come out this year, I can't name anything.
If that book ever comes out.
If it ever comes out. There's supposed to be 7 of them, so.
Yeah, that show's finishing before those books come out.
Definitely.
But, yeah, I mean, so I'm excited for 2018. I feel like there's a lot of movies that are coming out that are going to be really good. There's some games coming out. TV shows for sure.
Yeah, we'll have Infinity War.
We'll
have Solo.
I'm not too excited about that. So, is there an Infinity War Part 2 now or no?
Technically, it's just called Avengers 4 with no known subtitle yet.
I don't understand that. That's a talk for another day. But, yeah, so I guess, welcome to 2018, and
we hope it's treated you well.
Yeah.
I think it's treated us well-ish so far.
Yeah. I mean, we're both alive. We're not homeless.
A flying car came through my house the other day, but I'm fine.
Are you rich now?
No.
I feel like if a flying car came through your house, you should get some kind of
Well,
wealth.
it's not my house.
All right. We will see you guys this year, when you're watching. I don't know how to... This is all getting...
Next episode.
This is why time travel doesn't work. It's too confusing.
Bye.
Bye.